right, week 10 is in the books. Dolphins take down the Rams 23-15 on Monday Night Football. Huge win for Tua, Mike McDaniel in Miami. Pretty bad loss for the Rams, if we're being completely honest. We'll break it all down here on Four Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. Bear with me. Voice is battling it tonight. Coming down with a little something, I think. But help us out. Subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you daily NFL and college football videos here on this show. If you want football coverage on YouTube for free, my reaction to the latest news, rumors, games, my analysis, opinions, and a whole lot more, then hit that subscribe button. We're going to continue to crank out content here on this show, so lock us in here on Four Verts. All right, Dolphins 23, Rams 15. Rams unable to find the end zone tonight as Miami improves to 3-6. Rams fall to 4-5, and I think for Miami is pretty simple. This is kind of your last stand. If you lose this game and fall to 2-7, your season's done. It's obviously still a long shot for them to get back into the playoff picture, but you win tonight. You got the Patriots next week, or no, that's the Rams schedule. Excuse me. You got the Raiders and Patriots the next 2 weeks, both at home. Should be 5-6. You know, you're not dead. You win this game. Tua plays pretty well. Defense has gotten better throughout the season. I mean, Anthony Weaver, who comes over from Baltimore, I think he's done a pretty good job. So really nice win. I mean, you had to have it if you were Miami. Obviously, you'd like to have a couple of these games back earlier in the season. I mean, if you could have just won one of Tennessee or Indianapolis or that Cardinals game a couple of weeks ago where you just blow it at the end, you're 4-5, and you're actually in a pretty decent position considering that 7th seed in the AFC is going to be up for grabs. We'll talk about that in the latter part of the show. Take a look at kind of the playoff picture for the NFC and AFC as we are through Week 10 and over halfway through the season. This thing's running out on us, guys. It's kind of scary to think football's about halfway over. So cherish it. But big win for Miami. You know, not the craziest numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought Tua was accurate, got rid of the football. What the hell is he doing on that interception? Ducking his head and trying to tackle that guy. If you're Mike McDaniel, if you're Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, how do you not sit this guy down and say, Tua, if you throw a pick, if a ball is fumbled, if it's coming the other way, you sprint the opposite direction. I don't care if it is in double overtime and you have to make a tackle to prevent them from scoring. You are not involved in any collisions. It just cannot be allowed. So that was concerning. They actually evaluated him for a concussion. Luckily, he was cleared immediately, but did not like him doing that, but thought he did a good job of taking care of the football for the most part. Had a strip sack earlier as well, but did a good job. Tyreek Hill had a touchdown. Still is not having a great year. 3 catches, 16 yards. That's all. He's battling a wrist issue. So, you know, not an explosive night for the Dolphins, but pretty simple. They found the end zone a couple of times, and the Rams did not. The Rams kicked 5 field goals. They were 0 for 2 in the red zone in touchdown situations. I did not think Matthew Stafford was that sharp. I didn't think McVay called a great game. I'm a big McVay guy, but every 5 or 6 weeks, he has one of these games where you're just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, even at the end of the game, it doesn't really matter. But why is he kicking that field goal on third down before the onside kick? Why not take one more shot at the end zone? You're inside the 20. It's not like you're at the 35 and you're like, all right, as soon as we get in field goal range, we're going to kick the field goal to preserve as much time as possible. But when you're inside the 20, you're talking about 4, 5, 6 seconds. If you can get the touchdown there and the 2-point conversion to cut it to 3, well, then if you get the onside kick, you only need like 20, 25 yards and you're in field goal range. So I thought that was mismanaged, but you know, they didn't get the onside kick, so it doesn't matter that much. But, you know, the Dolphins stuffed Kyren Williams all night. That was pretty impressive. Stuffed them for the most part, I should say. And big win for Miami. Not a great win for the Rams, who now moving forward in their schedule as they saw Arizona, who's won 5 out of 6. They're now 6-4. The 49ers won. They're now a game and a half out of first place. They play at New England next week, which that's a game they should get. But then they get Philly at home. Not going to be easy. At the Saints, game they should win. But then Bills, at 49ers, at Jets, cross country, Cardinals, Seahawks. I mean, this is a bad loss for the Rams, a team that was as healthy as they've been all year. They got a couple more offensive linemen back tonight. All their receivers are healthy. To not find the end zone, that's a bit of an alarming performance from Stafford and Sean McVay and the boys. So Rams 4-5, Dolphins are now 3-6, clinging on to their playoff hopes in a weak middle of the AFC. I mean, again, that 7th seed and potentially even the 6th seed, but for sure the 7th seed is going to be up for grabs. All right, let's talk about that. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat here as voice is battling a little bit tonight. NFL playoff picture. We're through week 10 now, so you're starting to see some separation. Pretenders from contenders, teams in the playoff picture, teams not in the playoff picture. So let's just go through the divisions real quick, and then we'll kind of go through the current teams in the playoff picture and the teams on the outside looking in. So AFC East, Miami's division, it is basically over. The Bills are 4.5 games up with 8 weeks left. They're 8-2. Dolphins are 3-6. Jets and Patriots are 3-7. That division's done. The Bills will win the division. The question is, can Miami rally to be a wild card team? I don't think anyone believes the Jets or Patriots at 3-7 is making a run. AFC North, pretty clear. They're for sure going to have 2 playoff teams. Steelers are 7-2. Ravens are 7-3. They play this week, first 2 matchups, so that'll be good. They're both going to be in, just a matter of who wins the division and who's probably the 5 seed, the top wild card spot. And then Cincinnati at 4-6, kind of like with the Dolphins. They've, not played up to their potential this year, but very much still alive. We'll take a look at the wild card outlook in a second. Browns at 2-7, they're done. Texans 6-4, should win the division, although they're kind of reeling right now. Colts 4-6, Titans 2-7, Jags 2-8. Clearly, Tennessee and Jacksonville are done. The Colts at 4-6. I don't want to say they're done, but Flacco's not playing that well. They're sticking with him for some reason. Do you just go back to Anthony Richardson at some point? They're having internal issues with that whole situation. So kind of feels like a one-team division, and that one team's going to be the Texans. AFC West, Chiefs obviously going to be a playoff team. They play Buffalo this week. If they beat the Bills to improve to 10-0, they pretty much have the number 1 seed locked up. If not, that kind of reopens the picture for Buffalo and potentially Pittsburgh. Chargers at 6-3, firmly in a playoff spot right now. They would be the 6th seed, and then Denver at 5-5 is the 7th seed currently. If they could have gotten that upset and win over the Chiefs, tough to get a 35-yarder blocked. They'd be in a real good position for the wild card, but with them losing, that kind of makes it more interesting because that 7th seed, it feels like 9-8 is going to get you in. Obviously, the Raiders at 2-7 are done. All right, NFC divisions, and then we'll kind of talk, top 7 in each conference, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, NFC East, pretty clear. It's a 2-team division. Eagles and Commanders. Eagles 7-2, Commanders 7-3. They play each other on Thursday Night Football this week. If Philly wins in particular, they would take, I don't want to say stranglehold, but command of the division. That would be their 6th straight win. Washington, if they could win, they would leapfrog them in first place. Pretty clear both teams are going to make the playoffs unless one of them just collapses, which if one of them were to do that, you would guess that would be Washington just because they've played above their roster up to this point in time. But let's see how they play on Thursday night. I like both those teams to make the playoffs. Cowboys are done. Giants are done. NFC North, the toughest division in football. Obviously, the Bears have faded in a major way here. They are still 4-5, but long shot to make the playoffs at this point. Lions at 8-1. I think they're the best team in the NFC. Vikings 7-2. Packers 6-3. Pretty good chance all 3 of those teams make the playoffs. With the Vikings and Packers, 2 wildcard teams, joining either the Eagles and Commanders as the other wildcard team in the NFC. NFC South feels like it's just going to be Atlanta. Tampa's had too many injuries. They're 2 games back, plus don't have the tiebreaker over the Falcons. Falcons 6-4, Bucks 4-6. Brutal couple of weeks for them, losing a couple tight games to the Chiefs and 49ers. Panthers and Saints at 3-7. They are too far back. Arizona 6-4. 49ers 5-4, Rams 4-5, Seahawks 4-5. All 4 teams very much alive, but it feels like whoever wins the NFC West, that's going to be the only team that makes the playoffs. I think this is a 1-team division. Feels like it's the Cardinals and 49ers, especially after the Rams lost tonight, but still plenty of time for that to shake itself out. As of now, these are the playoff teams in the AFC. The Chiefs are the 1 seed on top of the AFC West. Bills, the 2 seed on top of the AFC East. Again, they play each other this next week. Steelers play the Ravens this week. The Steelers are the 3 seed on top of the AFC North. Texans 6-4 on top of the AFC South. Ravens, Chargers, Broncos, top 3 wildcard teams. And then you've got really, I think, just 3 teams outside looking in that have a shot. Colts at 4-6, Bengals at 4-6, Dolphins at 3-6. I think the Jets, Patriots, Browns, Titans, Raiders, and Jags are all done. NFC. Lions, the number 1 seed on top of the NFC North, 8-1. Eagles on top of the NFC East, 7-2. They play the Commanders this week. Falcons, 6-4 on top of the NFC South. Cardinals, 6-4 on top of the NFC West. Those are the 3 and 4 seeds. Vikings, the 5 seed at 7-2. Commanders at 7-3 are the 6 seed. Packers are the 7 seed at 6-3. As you can tell, the depth of the NFC much better than the depth of the AFC. 49ers at 5-4 are currently sitting just outside looking in. Bears, Rams, Seahawks, all 4-5. Bucks at 4-6. I guess that grouping is still in the mix to maybe make a run. And then the Cowboys, Saints, Panthers, and Giants feel like they are all done. So there you have it. If I'm correct on the teams that are eliminated, you got 4 NFC teams and 6 AFC teams that are done already. That's already almost a third of the league. So you're down to 22 teams for 14 playoff spots with 2 months to go. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. AFC is much more top-heavy, which means that race for the final seed, maybe even the 6th seed as well, is very much up for grabs. NFC kind of feels like it's it's down to 8 teams for 7 spots. The top 7 right now, then the 49ers. I don't view the Bears as a serious team. They have major issues. The Rams, bad loss tonight. Their schedule's getting tough coming up. Seahawks, they've been fading for weeks. Bucks, too many injuries. So we'll see if one of those teams makes a push, but it feels very unlikely. All right, my name is Harrison Graham. Thanks for tuning in. Big win for the Dolphins tonight to keep their hopes alive. We'll see how they shake out the rest of the season. We'll be back tomorrow here on 4Vert, so be sure to subscribe for more content.